when I actually think about it, the more successful I get, the more attractive a blue-collar man is to me.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
What's up, guys? Today I have a red pill topic for you, and just as I said, I'm not interested in doing this kind of content anymore right now because I've lost the luster and the drive to talk about this kind of thing. It pops right back into me, so I don't know, maybe I needed a few days of rest in order to be inspired by something of this sort. But hold on, oh, this is like cutting into my chest and ruining my tan, so let me take this off real quick. I thought it was cute, but it's like really fucking annoying, so I'm just gonna take the top part off. Hold on, there we go. We'll just leave it underneath as if it's like part of the waist of this outfit. So today I was watching a video talking about how the dynamic between men and women in dating has changed with social media, with things like Tinder, and also with the red pilling of men to where they're going the MGTOW way or something close to it, and the anti-red pilling of women, I guess you would call that, depending on what you determine is red pilling, where women completely forsake all of their feminine biological imperatives and decide to get careers, not settle down, be the breadwinners of families, and how that is ruining the traditional dynamic between men and women. Now, before we get started, what inspired me here was I was watching a Timcast IRL, I think it was, video, where he was talking to someone, I don't know who it was some woman, some seemingly anti-feminist or scientific woman or something, I don't know. And they were talking about the thing that I've heard so many times before, that women are getting so successful that there are no regular men that are gonna turn them on anymore, and there are no men successful enough that are still interested in them, because if they're more successful in them career-wise, they don't really see the career thing as an advantage, because men are more often than not looking for someone younger who's able to bear children, not someone who's more successful than them, because not only does that not help in their biological imperative to have children and to pass on their genes, but it also emasculates them in a way where they are not the strong masculine one anymore. And also the girl is probably not around as much, probably a little bit older, probably unwilling to do the things that need to be done around the house, which is, I think it's fine, because you can just hire, especially with two disposable incomes, you can hire a maid or you can hire a cleaner or something. But with how men are wired, not saying that this is an excuse, but there's gonna be that urge at least to fuck the maid, to fuck the babysitter, to fuck the person actually showing that they can take care of a family in a way that a wife would, and also be a little bit more subservient in the relationship because of the social hierarchy there. So, I've gotten off track again. Whew, there's a birdie. I like birdies. I might be ADD. So the thing I wanted to talk about, the thing that I heard once again in the Timcast video, was talking about how women have no mates when they get that high up in the social hierarchy in their careers, where there's no men more successful than them that actually want to date them, or they're too old to still be dating or having kids. They've passed that time where it's biologically probable that they're gonna have healthy offspring and have a lot of them if they want. And while I always kind of accepted that as fact because it makes logical sense, for me personally, as someone who's kind of like that, I'm a little bit of a weird case, because when you look at me from the outside, you think, oh, she's a total feminist, sex positive, she doesn't have like an actual husband. Even though I do have like a life partner, it's a little bit different, and it's something that a lot of people would call like degenerate or something. But I have a stable life partner, so that is one thing that I'm not going to be missing later on in life. That's one thing that pushes me away from the feminist thing. Also, while I do have my own business and make my own money, it's kind of a finite business that I make money in. So while I'm fostering Jay's ability to make more money and helping him live his dreams, I then in this partnership expect at some point that it will be more like a traditional relationship anyway, because that's kind of what I want. That dynamic is what I foster, even though I am at some points in our relationship a breadwinner and someone who makes a lot of money and has her own career and is constantly hustling. It's different than a lot of women who have a career, and my ideology isn't that I want to be a strong independent woman. Well, okay, I have two ideologies that fit into my life that I try to balance. One is as a human, not as a woman or as a man. As a person, I want to be as self-sufficient, as introspective, and as good and well-rounded of a person as I possibly can be, and that means acquiring new skills, that means having a bunch of hobbies that I can fall back on, that means thinking about the future, but that doesn't mean that I don't get off on in a relationship, which is my second set of ideals, want to be the submissive, want to be the person that is taken care of, and therefore I nurture the relationship, I take care of him in the ways that the feminine person in the relationship would traditionally take care of the man. I enjoy that kind of stuff. I enjoy being the smaller person. I enjoy submitting to him in bed. I enjoy all of that stuff. And I feel like when you become a career woman and you become independent as a woman, because I'm not hardcore red pill or hardcore feminist, I can see how you can kind of have the traits that still make you a good mate to the opposite sex. And that's kind of where I lie. And this has gotten off topic. This isn't how I wanted to introduce this. Before all of the red-pilled people come in here and talk about how women over 30 are doomed, women who are single mothers don't date them ever. Obviously, there are many good single mothers who just happen to be in that situation. It's just that when you're looking at it through stereotypes, or if you're looking at statistics, statistically, if you're making your decisions without knowing anything else about the person, sure, stay away from single mothers, stay away from independent women. But everyone is an individual, so I don't see things as a black and white, black-pilled, or as black and white, hardcore feminist. The world doesn't work that way because I know I personally don't fall into any of those categories in a black and white way. So the way I can see myself as a successful woman who makes a lot of money and who is very independent with my skill set and everything and not really needing anyone, when I actually think about it, the more successful I get, the more attractive a blue-collar man is to me. It's weird because it's like feminists want someone biologically who's gonna take care of them, so they're looking for someone who's actually more successful than them. But really, if you're the one making the money, you're taking over that trait, but that doesn't mean that there aren't a host of other masculine traits that you will want in your life that you can't fulfill as a woman most of the time. Obviously, I'm gonna be speaking sometimes in generalizations because if I go too, this is what happens to me actually in my videos. If I go too off on a tangent trying to cover every single aspect of everything and every single individual ever, you get this rambly shit. So we're gonna try to stick to generalizations. I just wanna give you the idea of how I feel that I can still be attracted to the average man while being a successful female. Whether I was a doctor who made a lot of money or whether I'm a titty streamer making a lot of money, it doesn't matter to me. When money is off the table, what I look for in a man is masculinity, being able to physically take care of me and my offspring if I had some, but I don't want any. Someone who like works an honest 9 to 5 and gets his hands dirty and can take care of things around the house. That's what I would look for if I was a successful woman, and I am a successful woman. So the more successful I get, the more attractive that seems. When money is not an object, I look for the more primal sexual characteristics of a man, and that's what like really turns me on. Like a mechanic or something who can help me fix my Jeep and teach me things so I have more skills, or someone who can like work around the house and make my like ideal house situation happen, fix all of the drains when they get clogged or whatever, even though that seems like a relatively easy thing. Some guy who's just like down and dirty and doesn't care that there's dirt in the grout and will clean that shit out and make a new one. Like those kinds of skills are the things that I, as a successful woman who doesn't have to think about money and doesn't care about money in a man, that's what I look forward to. That's what I find attractive. I think the problem might be with that is that it's hard to find an honest, hardworking man who didn't go through the whole like college system or whatever the fuck, who wouldn't still feel emasculated by a woman making more money than him. But I feel like when you don't have all of those masculine traits and characteristics that feminists often do, where you become a little more butch or you become bigger or you start acting like that's my money, bitch, and start acting like gross, like not like an attractive woman, that's where the emasculation lies. When you start acting like it's my money or I'm making the money or I have the power in the relationship. No, you should be a strong ass business ass bitch, right? But then in bed and in the relationship, you're completely submissive and you trust him to do the math for your finances and you have him doing all these things you would not be able to do without hiring 110 illegal immigrants or something. Like, you want that kind of masculinity, and honestly, that raw, like, man shit, that's always been the thing that's turned me on the most, and I've always been, even before, when I would actually, like, identify as a feminist, that's what I wanted, and I was honest about that. I never tried to out-actually masculine a man. It just so happens that in our society, women are in the workforce now. There's a car that's alarm is blaring. There goes the video. I'm looking at the little line, and you guys can actually hear that, otherwise I would just keep going. Let me turn up the brightness anyway, it's getting a little darker. I actually don't know if I will be able to do this outdoor video today. Oh, there, it stopped. I'm waiting for the hot tub to actually get warm enough for me to get in it, so that's why I'm doing this video out here right now. But now that I'm thinking about it more from my own perspective, I really don't think that it's impossible for men and women to be in the workforce together earning the same amount of money, which they do for the same work, and still be sexually attracted to one another. I just think that you have to not completely embrace one side or the other. I mean, even the most butch chick probably still has some feminine characteristics, and I think that if you want to be a strong independent woman that has a career, you also have to think about the consequences of that, and you also have to think about how you can still have a partnership with someone and not completely turn them off or shun them or be a bitch to them because you have this new societal power that women haven't historically had. I think it's going to take a little bit of time before women realize this. Women are growing more and more lonely and more older before they have kids or at least settle down and do whatever the fuck they want. There are men who don't want children too, just like there are a lot of women who don't want children. And I hope that there are more women who don't want children for the reasons that I don't than for like, I just don't want to be that bitch. Because that's so sad. Like, if you biologically, if you're feeling the drive and your personality is telling you you want to nurture, you want to have kids, you want to settle down, but you feel like some feminist group you're in is gonna like hate on you for it, really take a step back and think about if throwing away your life and all of your opportunities for happiness is actually worth that Tumblr group and their opinions. And I think this goes for everyone. If you're making decisions because your family won't like it, or you're making decisions because you think that's what's accepted in society or what's better, or for some reason someone's throwing it down your throat that what you want isn't actually what you want, take a step back, isolate yourself from that situation, and find out what you really want and just stick to it, because it doesn't fucking matter what other people think. But maybe if red-pilled MGTOW men stop being so black-pilled and allowing it to make them angry rather than pushing them into self-betterment until they inevitably do or don't find a mate, that shouldn't really matter. You should still be fulfilling yourself in your life to the utmost and not like falling into, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter the reason, don't fall into the trap of becoming a sad perpetual victim. Doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. If you're wasting away your life just because you can't currently find a mate, or you're mad about one particular thing in society, everyone has those things. Use that to your advantage and become a better person. Learn what you like, learn what you want, and know that you never need a mate at any particular time in your life to be whole as a person. That's like an end game, only if it works out type of thing. I personally believe that you can have a full and healthy life and a fully personally fulfilling life without actually relying on having a mate, whether you're a man or a woman. And I know that that's anti-traditional, but we're not animals anymore. You know, we have desires and needs and wants, and not everyone has the exact same, and not everyone has to fulfill the certain list of biological imperatives, so don't feel pressured to do so, especially in a part in your life where you don't feel like you're ready. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know it was all over the place. I know a lot of you guys enjoy the rambly stuff, but then I'll get like 5 or 6 comments in the comment section going like, oh my god, that was too much of a ramble, I can't even follow you. Maybe you should like write a list or a script or something. But I always find the listed scripted videos to not only take a lot longer because I'm never 100% happy with the script because I'm super perfectionist, but it also ends up being something that feels more contrived and forced. And I would rather just have this conversation with you guys right here and tell you how I feel and what I think. And oh dude, I was so close to actually filming the Why I Love Men or like Ode to Men video. I've been putting that off for months. I've been telling you guys that I would make that video, and I'm more and more realizing things that I'm glad that I waited to put in the video, because there's so much I want to talk about regarding this topic. It really ties into the things that I like in bed, the things that I like in my content creation, the fantasy, just everything. But I want you guys to know that I'm here for you. Let's talk it out. Let's talk about stuff, and let's share perspectives without acting like our way is the best way, because I've grown a lot from letting go of the my way is the best way, and now it's more like my way is the best way for me that I can see right now, and I'm open to listening to other people's perspectives so I can further either solidify that my way is the best way for me or make slight adjustments and changes based on things that you guys have helped me with. So thank you for that. And I will see you guys in the comment section as always. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. As always, it really helps me out when you like the video. All of that engagement stuff is really helpful. And I do read like 90% of the comments, sometimes even more, sometimes 100% if I'm really interested in a topic like I am with this one. Thank you guys so much. Bye. I love you.